Okay, today's tune is called Gospel Plow. It's by Chance McCoy and the Appalachian String Band. This is my version, loosely based on theirs, and it's a really good one to learn. I hope you're going to enjoy it. Bit of housekeeping to start with. Make sure you've printed out your tablature, because you're going to need the hard copy as well as what you can see on the screen. This is in double C tuning. Now it's probably likely that your banjo is in G major tuning, kind of standard 5-string banjo tuning. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to change your G major tuning into double C tuning. So here is your banjo tuned to standard G major tuning. Now the D, string number 1, is left the same. The B, the second string, is tuned up 1 semitone, so you're going to make it sound like the first fret of that string. So your B becomes a C. Your G string, third string, remains the same. Now your fourth string, your wound string, which is at the moment D, you've got to tune that down a tone, so it's an octave below string 2. So this is also a C, and your highest pitched string, string 5, is left the same. So you now have D, C, G, C and G. Bit of tweaking. That's basically your double C tuning with 2 C strings, this one and this one. These 4 strings here, the 4 nearest the ceiling, it's like a C5 tuning, all C's and G's, and we add a D there, so technically it's a C added second or C9 tuning, C added 9 tuning. I hold my banjo in a fairly unusual way because I find it hurts my left arm to hold this standard length, full length if you like, G banjo. So I position this pot, this drum-like thing here, right at the back of my right thigh. So right back there, see? And in that way, of course, it means that the neck is that much nearer to me and I'm not sort of stretching out for it. I also hold the neck up a bit like Bob Carlin does, if you've seen him. He's a really good banjo player. I mean, he tends to play like this a lot of the time. I find that's a bit too extreme, but not having it dead straight out, of course, it brings it nearer to you. These things will help if you get a strain in your arm when you're playing. Playing the banjo is not an exact science. It's all about the feel. It's all about bringing the tune out. So how do you do it? Well, you're playing the tune, of course, but you're putting in filler notes. This top string comes in a lot, doesn't it, to fill up the gaps. You'll find in my performance that I may not play everything exactly as I've written it. Pretty much it will be like that, but might be the odd time when I don't play as many top strings as I put on the tablature, and sometimes I'll play ones that aren't on the tablature. I'm sure you'll get the idea when you get into this tutorial. The most important thing is to bring the tune out, play the thing slowly to get it accurate. You can always build that speed up later. Now I play the whole tune with my thumb and my index finger, marked I and T on the tablature. And you can see it written underneath the actual tab here. I is index finger, T is thumb. And you can use your middle finger instead of your index finger. You can use a combination of the index finger and the middle finger, but in this tune I've tended to use just the index finger and the thumb. Again, like I say, it's not an exact science. You can do what works for you. In this tune we're going to use this note here, the 3rd fret of the C string. So C, C sharp, D and E flat. So that E flat means that we're going to be playing really in C minor. It's a kind of a modal tuning. Don't worry about that too much if you don't understand it, just so you know that you're basically in C minor. What you have to understand about the banjo is that the whole thing rings all the while. The notes are ringing in sympathy. So though you can see things on the tablature that you actually play, other notes are coming in as well, and we'll get to that a bit more as we go through the tutorial. So you have a D on string 1, you have a C on string 2, you have a G on string 3, you have another C on string 4, which is an octave below that one on string 2. So 2 and 4 are octave Cs, that's why it's called double C. And then we have the typical high pitched G on string 5. Lovely tuning, isn't it? It's 4 beats the bar. You can see the 4/4 there at the beginning of the tablature. And if you're not sure how to read tablature, it's pretty simple. Every time you see a number on a line, and the lines are the strings of course, that's the fret. So if it says O, it's open. If it says 3, it's 3rd fret. And what you play those strings with is written underneath. I for index, T for thumb, but of course you can use middle finger instead of the index finger if you wish. Now we have this kind of introductory bar to start with, and the first bit of it is empty. You've got this stroke here, this kind of crotchet stroke. You come in on beat 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, a feature of the Clawhammer Banjo, that's the style that I'm teaching you here, is this echoing everything with that top string. That's what we do here. So on beat 2 we play the 3rd string open, and then we play the 5th string. The 5th string's always open in this tune. I think it's sometimes in more advanced banjo we fret this 5th string, but nearly always it's open. So open 3rd string, open 5th string twice, and then put your first finger behind the 3rd fret of that 3rd string, that G string, and then you play the open 5th string afterwards. Now you can see this 1 in a circle here, and like it says on top, fingering. So finger 1, 3rd fret, G string, picked with the index finger. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and that's your first bar. That's your kind of pick-up bar. And then you can see this special sign, which is a repeat from sign, thick line, thin line, 2 dots. We borrowed this sign from normal musical notation. Now in this next bar, bar number 2 here, you've got 5th fret of the 3rd string, and that's 3rd finger. See the 3 in the circle above it. So we're up here, 5th fret, 3rd string, followed by that high pitched G, like that. And then you can see 5/7. Now the 5 is a smaller number than the 7, so the 7 is the main note. It's like going, but what we're going to do is this. It's a quick slur, so this 5 has no value. It's like a grace note, and you slur up quickly from where you are on the 5th fret here on the first bit of the bar. Play the string again and quickly slur up with your 3rd finger, you see? So you've got like that, and then come back to the 5th fret, 3rd finger, and then back to the 3rd fret, 1st finger. And it's always that open high pitched string. I'm not going to say that every time. You can see this running along here all the while. This bar is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's. Now remember, when you play clawhammer style, that you are pushing down on the string with the front of your nail. So it's this part of the nail that you're using on the string, pushing down. You're not plucking the string upwards like a guitar, okay? So the thumb is forward to the finger, and you can have it resting on there and just pull it up every time you want it. So that's your first 2 bars. And then in the last bar of this first, I won't call it a stave because it isn't, but this first line of tablature, you've got an open G again, open 3rd string. And this time there's a single crotchet stroke here. See, if you know anything about musical notation, you'll read these in this bar as quavers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. In this bar you've got like a crotchet, a whole beat on this open G, and then 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 pairs of quavers. Now here you play the G on its own, and then you strum the G and the C and the D, the 3rd, 2nd and 1st strings with your index finger across there like that, followed by the open string, and then come back to the open 3rd string and the 3rd fret of that string. So let's play that first line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that's your first line of tablature done. So just to recap, the numbers in the circles are your left hand fingers. I and T underneath, that's your right hand picking. This is assuming you're right handed. If you're left handed, it's the other way around, of course. And this little 5 to the big 7, that's a quick slur from the 5th fret to the 7th fret, where you don't give any value to that 5th fret there. Alright, let's move down to bar 4. See, it's marked here, bar 4. And you're running down. Now Now I've played 2 bars there to get the sense of it. So we've got 5th fret of that 3rd string, and then 3rd fret, and then open. Now the first 2 have got the open top string as an echo. Then we do this rather special thing. It's open 3rd string, and then what I do here is I bang or hammer my 3rd finger down on the C string, on the lower of the 2 C strings. It's your only wound string, or should be on your banjo, without actually playing the string at all. And then I come to the 3rd fret, 1st finger, and I play that string, and I pull the string down towards the floor, keeping it pressed hard against the fingerboard to bend it a semitone. So it's quite unusual. And then if I play the first note of the next bar, it's the open C string, string 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. And underneath you can see it says hammer on, and then it says semitone bend. I'm calling it a semitone bend, but really it's not that much. It's just a slight bend, probably more like a quarter tone. Okay, so and don't worry if you hit other strings as you're playing, as you're trying to play the tune. That's all part and parcel of you know, playing the banjo. It doesn't really matter that much, as long as you do hit the right strings that you want, as well as those others. So in that bar 5, 2nd bar along here, we play the open C string, 4th string. Again, that strum of 3 open strings. Back to that high pitch string, and come back up that 4th string, 3rd fret, 5th fret, finger 1, finger 3. Let's do those 2 bars. Okay, and let's move into the 3rd bar. That's this bar here, okay, along here. Now we start with the open 3rd string, the G string, the strum that we've done a couple of times already, and then the filler note, that high pitch string. Now we're going to put our 1st finger behind the 2nd fret of the G string, the 3rd string, play that string, hammer on with our 2nd finger to the 3rd fret of that string, leave that 1st finger where it is, because we're going to come straight back to it, see? So you pluck the string there and there again. Fingers 1, 2, 1. Index finger plucks everything there. Now we come to the first part of the tune where we've got some ghost notes. We're going to make a little shape here, and this is the shape we need. Now the shape we want here is the 2nd fret of the 4th string, 1st finger, and the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, 2nd finger, like that. That's the shape we want, okay? Show you that a bit clearer if I can, like that. But we're only actually going to play the 3rd string open, and the other notes are going to be ghost notes. They're going to be ringing, but you won't actually play them. So you're going to go, see? Now what happens then is you're going to keep that shape on, and you're going to play the 2nd string and the 1st string with your index finger. These 2 notes here are not actually played, but they're still sounding. They're ghost notes, you see, with this shape on, with that open pitched G coming in afterwards. So you've got 1, 2 and then that quick slur, 3rd fret to the 5th fret on the 4th string. See, this 3 has no value, hence it's smaller. This one getting close on that for you so you can see that bend. See how I pull the string down but still keep it pressed down hard on the fingerboard. Like that, see? Right, let's play those 2 lines of tablature. So there we are, it's got a lovely feel, isn't it? Typical clawhammer or frailing banjo, some people call it. Right, let's scroll down and look at our next few bars. Now, this is lovely, this bit. Now, a couple of interesting bits here. This is bar 8. We start with an open 4th string, open low C, index finger of course. You're then going to move over to the first string, play it open as well, hammer to the first fret, and then it says banjo head percussion. And you can just touch the head of the banjo, like that, with your knuckles or whatever falls to hand. And straight away, you've got that open top string springing off here, see? 1, 2 and 3 and. That open G string there, that open 5th string comes in on the end of 3. And then you come back to the open 1st string on the 4th beat of the bar. So you have 1, 2 and 3 and 4. And then in the next bar, you've got the hammer again. And then you've got the percussion and you've got the open string again. But this time the percussion is on beat 2 and the open G string is on the and counter 2. Now this time is what I call a dugout slow. You hear the 5th fret and the 7th fret. This is on the count of 3 and. So 3rd finger on the 5th fret of that C string, that thick wound string, and then that normal strum of the 3 open strings and that top G straight afterwards. So that bar 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, pretty good. Now, more ghost notes in this bar. This is bar number 10, 3rd bar of this line of tablature. This is the shape you need here. It's 5th fret of the 4th string and it's the 7th fret of the 1st string, like that. That's the basic shape you need for this bar. Now you're going to play the 4th string, 5th fret, and then you've got this strum, open top string, strum, open top string twice, see? You can see it's 4th finger on the 7th fret. These 3 strings are being played together. So that's... Now, this last note of the bar, 3rd fret, what you do is just move the entire shape down 2 frets. So although you're only playing the 3rd fret of the 4th string, these other notes in brackets are ghost notes, they're going to be ringing. So you've got... You can see it as I slow down, you can hear those other notes ringing. Okay, now that's tied. Now on this tablature, this software that I use is called Table Edit. For some reason it doesn't show the notes that you're tied to, but when you see this, this is a tie. So this final chord here is held into this next bar, and you come in on beat 2 of that next bar, this last bar of this tablature. On beats 2, 3 and 4 you've got 3rd fret of the 4th string, the quick slur 5 to 7, back to the 3rd fret, so everything is on the 4th string there. So those last 2 bars of that line of tablature. Right, let's play that whole line of tab. And you probably noticed there I put a little filler in there which is not on the tablature, so immediately I'm showing you things that, you know, I'm doing naturally and I haven't even written in. You might be able to find another recording that I did of this. In fact, I've done a couple of these, one with a different tuning, but the one that's in double C is not the same arrangement as this. It's kind of a rough one that I threw together a few years back, but hopefully the performance of this tablature that I'm showing you will be reasonably accurate to this. On this last note of this bar, last note of this line of tablature, again we do this bend. I'm calling it a semitone, it's not really, it's just a slight bend, just like you did before. So that bar, so this won't make sense till you get the next bar. Okay, so if I just play this whole line of tab, and I played the first bar of the next line as well. So bar 12 down here, all open, very straightforward. So 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4. And it's that usual strum of the 3 open strings. And then in the next bar, bar 13, you do the strum and the open string again. So, and then come up that fourth string, open, 3rd fret, 5th fret. So those 2 bars. And feel the accent there. So dum dagger dagger dum dagger dum dum dum. Now in bar 14 down here, quick slur 5 to 7. Keep it there as you play the strum of the 3 open strings and the top string afterwards. And again that hammer on that we did before. 2 to 3 on the 3rd string, back to 2. And again this funny chord with the ghost notes, the slur up and the bend. So let's play 12, 13, 14 and 15. And we're going into this line down here. Now you can see lots of percussion here. Every time you've got one of these little diamonds, that's where you touch the banjo head to get the percussion. Got the hammer on, but just play this slowly. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Exactly the same as before. Notice how this percussion keeps shifting. It's on beat 3 here, it's on beat 2 here, here it's on beat 4, here it's on beat 3. It's shifting all the while. It's now sometimes when I play this I just go, I don't even put the percussion in. So you don't have to do it. If I play it without the percussion slowly. Again, I probably did a mixture of that when I performed it earlier in the lesson. So just be aware of that. So that was page 1, and we have the 2 endings now. Ending number 1, bar 19, which is... Now this is going to take you back to the repeat from sign. Now this time it's 1st fret of the 1st string, and open 2nd and open 3rd as a strum, and then you've got your run up that you did in your pickup bar. You've got this repeat sign here, so go back to where that sign faces the other way, which is up here, see, in bar 2, and you'll come all the way down again, and this time you'll do ending number 2 instead, which is going to take you into the next section where you go, where you're doing the high pitched version of the tune. So I'm going to use my hard copy, my tablature now. So I'm going to do this first time through from the very beginning. And do the other ending. I don't suppose I ever play this the same twice, you see, but obviously when you're teaching you've got to have some specific arrangement to refer to. That's what I'm doing here. So I hope you're doing okay. That's quite a lot to learn, isn't it? Let's move on to the next part now. So here you'll be going from the end of bar 18 straight to bar 20. So it will sound like this from 16. So if we look at bar 20, you're going to go from the 1st fret to the 5th fret quickly. So 1st fret, 5th fret, and 5th fret again, and then the 8th fret, and that's 3rd finger. So 1st fret and 5th fret are both 1st finger. And then when we come up to the 8th fret, okay, so a little finger that's in position, but we tend to use our 3rd finger, it's more comfortable. And then up to the 10th fret where I've got a dot, 3rd finger, and then 12th fret, again 3rd finger. But when I come back to the 10th fret, you notice by the way the 12th fret's got 2 dots because it's the octave. Notice when I come back to the 10th fret it's 1st finger, and then down to the 8th fret where it's 1st finger. So the first time I played the 8th and 10th frets I used my 3rd finger, but the second time I used my 1st finger. Let's have a look at that. And obviously I'm playing that top string all the while as a drone, as an echo. So it's from beat 2 where you've got the tune coming in an octave higher. In bar 22, you've got 5, 5, 5, 8, very simple. First finger and third finger. Up to the 10th fret, back to the 8th fret with first finger, and then you've got this. Now pull off. Haven't done one of those before. Right, just getting nice and close on this so you can see this. So you're on the 7th fret of the 2nd string, and your first finger's ready on the 5th fret, and you simply play the string with your index finger with your right hand. You pluck the string with the 3rd finger of your left hand, pulling down on it, but your first finger stays on, so you're sounding the 7th fret and the 5th fret, but you're only playing the string once. That's a pull off. Your finger kind of pull it till it snaps off the string, and you get the sound. So you get that sound. Now, as you pull off, you may find yourself playing that top string with it, and that's fine, that's written in. If you find you can't do that, don't worry. Now, I use my little finger on this 8th fret of the 3rd string here, but you may find 3rd finger's more comfortable, so I put 4 or 3 here. And always this open top string, see? Let's play those 2 bars of that line, 22 and 23. And then running up at the last bar of this line of tablature, bar 24, 5, 5, 8 on that 3rd string, finger 1, and then finger 4 or finger 3, and back up to the 5th fret of string 2 with first finger, open top string all the while, like that, or if you prefer it. Let's scroll down, 25, 26, 27. Interesting that, isn't it? So you've got 5, 5th fret of the 1st string, played on its own as a crotchet, then again with the drone, and then bring the 1st finger up 2 frets to the 7th fret, play that string, hammer to the 8th fret, take your finger off, play the 7th fret again, so 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Notice there's only one high G in that. And you will find from time to time you'll hit the string above it as well, doesn't matter. You know? You can hear it's all ringing anyway, can't you? Now, funny old shape here. What I do here is I flatten my little finger across 2 strings, 1st and 2nd strings, 5th fret, and then I put my 1st finger behind the 4th fret of the 3rd string. That's the shape. Strum it with your index finger downwards, like that. Keep the shape on, play the 1st string, so you'll just get the 5th fret with your drone string. If I ever say drone string, I'm talking about this top G, the shorter string. Like that, 1, 2 and then working down that 1st string, 3rd fret, 1st fret, finger 1, or finger 3 and 1 if you prefer that. And then here comes this, that percussion thing. The only difference this time is you've got this lovely slur up on beat 3, 3rd fret to the 5th fret. Let's play that whole line of tablature. Okay, now for the first time we've got a straightforward bit of strumming here. Let's look at the shape here. We've got the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, so 2nd finger, and I put my little finger behind the 3rd fret of the 1st string, because you're going to need your 1st finger later on behind the 1st fret of that string. And you've got 1, 2 and 3 and 4. So when you do the down strum it's with the index finger, when you do the up strum it's with your thumb. 1, 2 and 3 and 4, and on beat 4 it's where you lift your little finger, put your 1st finger down. And notice I'm strumming it like that, but actually it's, you almost lose the middle bit of it. You want to hear what you want to hear. The bit in the middle is fairly inconsequential. You've got to kind of bury it. It's nice and subtle. See? Again, that's tied. You play the first string on beat 2, first fret again, and then quick slur up, third fret to the 5th fret, back to that first fret. So no open strings there. So you got, and then these last 2 bars of this line, you've got the quick slur, 3rd to 5th fret on the 3rd string, 3rd finger, and when you reach that 5th fret, you play an open C string, 4th string with it, index finger, see? And then you strum just those 2 strings. And when you get to the beat 4, you can see this triple V thing here, which is vibrato. So, can you see me wobbling the string there? Again, if you can't do that, don't worry, but it's nice if you can. So you wobble the string, but you've still got to press down hard on it all the while. And then you come back to that 5th fret of that string, then you've got 3rd fret and 5th fret of the 2nd string. So you've got... So... Okay, we're getting there. It's quite a long lesson, this, isn't it? And I'm making these lessons free because, you know, I don't consider myself to be like a wonderful banjo player. I can play a bit, but hopefully I can, you know, set you on the right road if you're starting off. This isn't a beginner's piece by any means, but it's really good fun to learn. And I think you improve by trying things that are a little bit tricky, because you can do your cripple creaks and things like that, you know, to the end of time, but you're not going to improve. Something like this will really improve you. Getting to the end, like I say, 33, 34, 35 on this end of this page. Now you have this. So it's a quick slur, 5 to 7 on the 2nd string with the open 3rd and 4th string played as you reach the end of that slur. Then you play the 2nd string, 7th fret again with the open string. Then the hammer on 7 to 8 on the 1st string. And then play the 7th fret again, so. And then that funny shape I showed you before. See? That's the same as bar 26 that we've already done. And then we have this sort of driving thing. What you're doing here is you're slurring. The dugout slur, as I call it, from 3rd to 5th fret on the 3rd string. Now, once you've reached that 5th fret, you're slurring up to this C note, and then the open 2nd string is C, which you play next, and then you've got the open top G. See? And you do the open C string and the top G twice, and then you slur up again, and then it goes into the next bar, bar 36, and you begin again. So you'll hear an accent here, driving it along. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And then in ending number 1, you'll do your run up to go back to the very beginning. So this slur is on beat 1, then it's on beat 4, and then it's on beat 3, and then it's on 1, and then it's on 4. So it's shifting. So it's lovely accent there. And then you'll go back to the beginning. Let's play that 2nd page from bar 20, and I'll go down to the end of 37. So I'm going to use my sheet music here, my tablature. So make sure you've got your hard copy in front of you. And then you'll come back in from the beginning. When you get to the end the 2nd time, you'll jump from bar 37 7, the end of bar 37 to the very final bar, was just got an open second string on it. So that slurring section to the end. The last thing you'll do will be a slur, and then you'll keep your finger on that note as you play the open C string, the open second string. So you can see it's pretty rough and ready, is the way I play it. Like I said, I'm not pretending to be some ace banjo player, but you know, it's that kind of rough and readiness that makes it sound great, I think. If it's too precise, I think it tends to lose its charm. So I'm just going to repeat that to performance again that I showed you. And like I said earlier, this may not be exactly note for note the same as it is on the tablature, but it's as close as I can possibly get it for you.